Today on Everyman Driver, we have this F-150 Lightning fully electric truck. Today we're going to take a full detailed look. Let's get started. All right, y'all, let's take a look at the exterior details of this F-150 Lightning, the all-electric F-Series pickup. So first of all, this is the Lariat trim. I showed you the Pro Series model before. Then we also have the XLT, this Lariat, and the Platinum at the top end for the Lightning. So obviously right up front, you're not gonna have a real grille. You don't need it, it's closed off, and we've got something special under the hood I'll show you a little bit later. But look at this giant light bar running across the front end. That's gonna be on everything except the base model. These tow hooks down here, it's nice to have some recovery hooks built in, and then LED headlights with an adaptive function are standard even on the base model. You'll find a Lightning badge on the back with this silver paint here. We've got running boards on our model. You've got LED signals in the mirror. Plus, it's gonna range from 18 to 22-inch wheels depending on the trim level, and they're gonna look a little bit more aerodynamic like this to help with the overall range. And dimensionally, it's 232.7 inches long. It looks just like the regular F-150. Ground clearance is gonna be a tad under 9 inches, so not bad, but not the best either. And then in the back, you'll actually get an independent rear suspension, which is new for the F-Series. Plus, coming to the rear end, you'll find the LED taillights and this signature LED light bar running all the way across on the Lariat and the Platinum model here. F-150 embossed into the back. You've even got a little Lightning badge with an American flag down here, which looks pretty cool. And of course, there's still going to be a spare tire, a full-size spare underneath. Now Ford also gives us a power tailgate. So power down, power up, totally unnecessary, but you get it even on this Lariat model. Just like other F-150s, you have these clamps built in right here. You have the step that will pull out like I've showed you on other F-150s. You've got the ruler on top of here as well, all the way across. So you've got all the way up to 4 feet. Which is kind of nice to be able to measure that. This is textured too. You've got spots to put a phone or an iPad. You have tie downs on both sides of the tailgate, and the underside can be used as a bottle opener too. So I mean, before we even get into the bed, the tailgate is actually pretty impressive. You're gonna have the box link tie downs on each side. You've got your fixed tie downs in each corner, LED cab lighting back here, and you've still got the slots to be able to put like pieces of wood if you want to create a shelf back here. You can push this light to turn these LED lights, or push that button to turn those lights on. Plus you've got a 220 volt outlet, you've got 120 volt outlets all over the place. I mean, this is just fantastic. Part of Ford's Pro Power onboard, you can power a whole site of whatever you need to with this truck. All right, so now let's take a look at this Mega Power Frunk. It's actually a pretty cool feature. So since you don't have an engine compartment right here, you don't need to have a gas engine under here, you've got all this extra space, which is lockable. It's drainable if you want to put anything wet right here. It can have 400 pounds of payload here. You've got cargo nets. You've got a few different hooks for some light cargo nets too. Hooks on each side as well. You even have tie downs in here. This is a nice like textured kind of rubberized surface. You push this, you've got lights that will turn on up above on both sides. It's a really, really nice area. You've got 4 regular 120 volt plugs, a couple of USB ports, and about 2.4 kilowatts of power availability out of here. And if somebody gets locked in here, they can get out. Now, actual dimensions and size, this is about 14 cubic feet. It's almost like a Honda Civic trunk under the hood of your truck. And you got a little extra space underneath of here as well. Good spot for your charging cord. Ford also gives us the smart key system right here, so you can open your Mega Power Frunk, your truck bed. There's no remote start on the key fob. You can do that with the app, or you can have it programmed to automatically warm up or cool off at certain times. Then you've got the smart entry here. You've got the keyless touchpad. This is actually really convenient if you've never seen that with Ford. They've been doing it for a long time. Now for front seats, this Lariat is going to give us leather seats. So you don't have the forward and backward adjustability of the headrest like you do in some F-Series trucks, and you don't have the fold flat option in this model, but you do in the Platinum trim, the Max Recline. But these are comfortable. All these F-Series seats have been comfortable. I've got no complaints with that. You've got two-way lumbar, your typical height and tilt adjustment. No four-way lumbar on this one and no massaging function, but you have a power adjustable steering wheel, tilt and telescoping. You even have power adjustable pedals. So tall people, short people, Ford tries to make it easy for everyone in here to get comfortable. With those power adjustments, you've got 3-position memory settings. Like I said, these seats are comfortable. I've spent a lot of time in different F-Series seats and I've always been comfortable, including an overnight 13-hour road trip, and I was good. I could have kept driving. These seats will be heated or ventilated, including a heated steering wheel, and the controls are on your digital display right here. The back seat of the F-Series vehicles are always fantastic. Same thing here. You've got a nice, comfortable material on the door, good bottle holder there, below, storage in a couple of different areas. And the storage space back here is fantastic, whether it's for work or for family or carrying whatever you need. You've got a flat load floor, which is great. Under the seat, you've got this spot where you can put stuff, or you can lift this up, lock it in place, make this a lockable storage area with the seat down on top of it. It's pretty awesome. You've got a 40-60 split fold, which is also great to have one seat up or down as needed. Legroom, of course, is fantastic. I'm 5'9". I got tons of legroom, obviously, but even taller people will as well. Comfort is good too, because you've got heated seats back here, plug-ins, you've got a 12-volt power outlet, USB ports, and a 120-volt plug there, and some AC vents, and some cup holders. More cup holders and a center folding armrest in the middle. The only thing is these seats don't recline like in Ram, but they're still comfortable. Now hopping inside, over on our door, you still get some nice materials, some extra trim there, good storage like you've seen on other F-Series trucks, and plenty of room for big bottles. Just to the left, all the same controls you're used to with other F-Series trucks as well, including your mirror spotlights. Steering wheel controls are easy to operate, both sides of the wheel. There's nothing in the back of the steering wheel. Everything is visible and in the front. Leather wrapped heated steering wheel is very comfortable, and this digital display comes standard on here. This digital cluster gives you quite a bit of things that you can see. You can customize your own My View. It's just a different take on all the things you've seen on other F-Series trucks, and it's put together really well. Now, one thing is Ford always has a little storage shelf up here. I'm guessing it's because of this screen. We don't have that exact same setup, but you still get a little sticky mat right there to set a few items. And then you've got this massive portrait style screen instead of the landscape screen. I personally like Ford's landscape style screen, but this is still nice. You have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This volume knob and power knob is actually integrated into the screen. It's on the screen, so it actually acts like your finger is on there. You've got your climate controls at the bottom, so you have some separation of things, even though you don't have physical controls for most of your stuff, which takes getting used to, but it is large enough to be able to easily tap certain things, like hit the truck up there, go to all these different settings. There's so much that you can do and so much that you can see. I have a night video showing off the zone lighting on this truck and on a previous truck, and it works very well. It lights up all different parts of the vehicle. You can adjust so much on here. It's kind of crazy. I mean, it's almost a little bit overwhelming. Pro Trailer Backup Assist knob is right over there. Your trailer brake controller, and you'll notice you don't have a four-wheel drive switch or knob or anything. It's because it's just a standard four-wheel drive all the time. Nothing to change with that, even though you do have some off-road modes. So let's hit that. You've got drive mode, you go off-road, and I'm assuming it could help at least a little bit. While you're driving though, you can lock up your rear differential if you want to, which is helpful. One pedal driving, you can turn that off or on. I'll go through that in the test drive and talk about that. Flip it in reverse, we've got this 360 camera that takes up a large portion of the screen. You've got parking sensors, parking assist as well. You've got cameras all over the place. We even have a bed camera, the surround view camera. You can pretty much see wherever you want to see on this truck. It's great. Down from there, we've got a wireless charging mat, a couple of USB charging ports, and then the same center console setup we've seen in other F-Series trucks. So let me go back into park, fold that shifter down, and then you can move the armrest right here to create this little workbench or this little area, put a laptop, write some papers, do things like that. And it's textured, so stuff isn't going to slide off of here super easily. Or you can lift it up and you've got a ton of space inside, just like other F-Series trucks. You even have a little storage area next to the center console here and on the passenger side, and these cup holders are great size. Just to the right over here, we've got a 12-volt power outlet, 120-volt plug. We've got a little pop-up glove box, upper glove box, and the lower glove box, just like you've seen in other F-Series vehicles. Automatic dimming rearview mirror. Everything is the same up here. Little ambient lights, LED lighting, sunglass holder. You've got an entire visor that slides out as well. Great coverage. And Ford also gives us this panoramic roof, or this twin panel roof they call it. It's pretty big, goes all the way back, lots of light. Now this F-150 Lightning comes with two different range options, the standard battery and the extended range battery, and the extended range is what we have right here. And since there's no engine or anything to show you, let me just give you some B-roll and talk about it. All right, so you're gonna get a big lithium-ion battery mounted between the frame rails and two inboard motors with four-wheel drive standard. The standard range battery is gonna be about 230 miles of range, whereas this extended range model is now rated at 320 miles and up to 775 pound-feet of torque. But it is quite a bit more expensive. And that base Pro model is just for fleet. So you can't order the base model and then the extended range if you're just a consumer like me. One benefit to the extended range is you'll have a higher output for the Pro Power on board, which is all the plugs in the back and under the hood right here. Now charging the F-150 is pretty simple. So you can plug in with just a standard 120 volt plug, a 3-prong outlet. Ford gives you one of those. It's gonna be really slow charging times, only a few miles of range per hour added. But Ford also gives you an adapter. So you've got this you can plug into their charger that they give you. I got one of these plugs put into my garage and I can get around like 30 miles of range per hour added. So you can charge it up overnight, every night if you needed to. I love that Ford gives us this because some EVs give us nothing. It can also DC fast charge, or charging doors right here. So the DC fast charging, you can go to one of those stations and you can charge pretty quick from a low percentage all the way up to close to being fully charged in a very short period of time, or relatively short period of time. Not as fast as some EVs though. All right, y'all, we are now behind the wheel of this Lightning, and let me tell you, this thing is like a rocket. It'll give you the willies, and four-wheel traction right there gets you up to speed in a hurry. So this extended range with the extra torque is more powerful. It's got more torque and it's got more range, and you can feel all of that. This thing gets scooting and gets moving in a heartbeat. It is just so quick. The towing capacity is not as good as you would expect considering the torque, but I think a lot of that has to do with the weight rating and all of that of a vehicle. So keep that in mind. But towing is also going to be a huge drag on your range. I have not seen good results from electric vehicles towing, you know, as far as holding much for range, but I'm sure that will improve with time, with new vehicles. But from a day-to-day driving aspect, which is how I've been driving this, it's been fun. It's quiet, it's comfortable, and of course you've got the electric, you know, feeling of driving where you have just instant torque. The second you want to speed up, you go. You pass somebody, you go. It's not a problem at all. The weight of this battery in between those frame rails brings the center of gravity of the truck down, so it really does kind of handle better too, in that sense. And right now I'm in one pedal drive mode, and what that means is if I let off the gas, it's going to start slowing me down pretty quick. But then I can push on the gas, or the pedal, the accelerator, and get going just like normal. You can turn the one pedal driving off if you want to and just have it feel like a normal vehicle. The one pedal drive mode can help you recapture and regenerate energy lost during slowing down and braking, and it does that anyways, but now the truck is capturing back as much energy as possible. So it's one way to drive maybe a little bit more efficiently, potentially, depending on how you do drive. I'm going to take it out of one pedal mode so it'll kind of roll and coast and have that little bit of movement if you don't have your foot on the brake. Now, in fact, I'm going to put us in sport mode. So we were in normal mode for that takeoff. Sport mode is going to keep this thing revved and ready to go. Revved, I say, but just more responsive, partial pedal, It gets you moving super fast, and it honestly feels super nimble. Aside from being quick, it kind of handles pretty quickly. You've got, you know, it still feels like a truck as far as driving dynamics for the most part, but it's got that little bit of lower center of gravity and just a little different feeling overall. So electric vehicles also, with all that weight right there, have a different feeling of ride comfort. This has an independent rear suspension, unlike the leaf springs found in other Ford products, and it's been comfortable. It just feels different, you know. Electric vehicles just feel different for their ride comfort. It's not like, you know, luxury sedan level, anything like that, but compared to older pickups, for sure, you're gonna think this thing is smooth as butter. The controls take a little bit of getting used to on there. I still wish we had more physical buttons, and you can get the landscape smaller screen, which is still a big screen on on this particular model, but you can get this if you want to. So it's really just personal preference. It's up to you, depends what you want. Another thing about the Lightning and all F-150s is that they're very quiet, and this one is no joke. It is quiet on high speeds on the interstate. It's quiet at lower speeds on rough textured country roads, and there's just no trouble with that at all. It's full-time four-wheel drive all the time with this electric motor. You've got two electric motors, so you've got power going to the front and the back, and it does a great job. I haven't had any traction issues, but I also have not taken this off-road. But I hope you've enjoyed this test drive. It's very fun to drive. It's fast, super fast, and it handles pretty well for a truck, and it's very quiet, comfortable. It's easy to live with on a day-to-day basis. You're just gonna really suffer on range if you actually use it for towing and payload. So to wrap things up on this F-150 Lightning, I love that Ford is now offering a fully electric truck. So you've got your turbos, you've got your regular V8, you've got hybrid options, you have an EV option now. So you've got an option for pretty much everybody. And I like that it still feels traditional in the fact that it's so similar to the regular F-150. It's not totally different like the Cybertruck or like Rivian, you know. It's not something totally brand new to people. It's just like the regular F-150s, but now just electric. So what do you think of this F-150 Lightning? Would you take it over the other EV trucks available, like the Rivian truck or the coming Cybertruck? Let me know in the comments down below. Or would you just still like to stick with a regular old gas or diesel? Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.